Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Stefan Samuel. This segment of the news is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. In international news, President Bashar Assad and his force has continued with a military attack in eastern Damascus, bombing many in the suburbs. Here is Siobhan Gobin with more on this story.
President Bashar Assad's forces pressed on with a military offensive in eastern Damascus today, bombing rebel-held suburbs where the opposition said its chemical weapons attacked the day before killed over 100 people. The government has denied allegation it used chemical weapons and artillery barrages on the area known as Eastern Ghouta on Wednesday as absolutely baseless. The United States, Britain, and France have demanded that a team of UN experts already in Syria be granted immediate access to investigate the site. Syrian opposition figures and activists have reported widely varying death tolls from Wednesday's attack, from 136 to as high as 1,300. But even the most conservative tally would make it the deadliest alleged chemical attack in Syria's civil war. The Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said it had no word on casualties in the Thursday morning bombing of eastern Ghouta. It said Syrian warplanes conducted several air raids on eastern and western suburbs of Damascus, including 3 that took place within 5 minutes. Wednesday's alleged chemical weapons attack left scores of children dead, their lifeless bodies appearing in amateur videos wrapped in white cloths, their pale skin unmarked by any wounds. UNICEF said in a statement that the reports of attacks on civilians, presumably including children, were deeply disturbing. And I quote, "Such horrific acts should be a reminder to all the parties and all who have influence on them that this terrible conflict has gone on far too long and children have suffered more than enough," UNICEF said. Children must be protected, and those who fail to protect them will be held accountable. Mohammed Abdullah, an activist in the suburb of Sakba, told the Associated Press via Skype that most of the dead were buried the same day in mass graves in different areas in eastern Ghouta. He said the burials took place quickly for fear the bodies might decompose as a result of the heat and lack of electricity. He said relatives identified some of their dead family members before burial, while unidentified victims were photographed and their graves tagged with a number in case their loved ones come to collect their bodies in the future. The unrest in Syria began in March 2011 and later exploded into a civil war. More than 100,000 people have been killed in the conflict so far, according to UN figures. My name is Siobhan Gobin, reporting for Caribbean Affiliate News.
Bradley Manning, the U.S. soldier sentenced for leaking classified documents, has said he wants to live the rest of his life as a woman. As he transitions into this next phase of his life, he wants everyone to know the real him. I am Chelsea Manning, I am female, Manning said in a statement to NBC. Given the way that I feel and have felt since childhood, I want to begin hormone therapy as soon as possible. I hope that you will support me in this transition. I also request that starting today, you refer to me by my new name and use the feminine pronoun, except an official male to the confinement facility, the statement read. Manning, who is 25 years old, signed the letter as Chelsea E. Manning. The confession came a day after Manning was sentenced to 35 years in a military prison for turning over classified files to WikiLeaks in the biggest breach of secret data in the U.S. history. He has been found guilty of 20 charges ranging from espionage to theft for leaking more than 700,000 documents to the anti-secrecy website while working in Iraq in 2010. Manning will be eligible for parole within 9 years. His lawyers argued during the trial that Manning suffered extreme inner turmoil over his gender identity, his feeling that he was a woman trapped in a man's body while serving in the macho military, which at the time barred gays from serving openly. During the sentencing phase, he apologized for the damage he caused, saying, "When I made these decisions, I believed I was going to help people, not hurt people." His lawyer said after the sentencing that Manning plans to send a letter to Barack Obama to request a presidential pardon. If you deny my request for a pardon, I will serve my time knowing that sometimes you have to pay a heavy price to live in a free society, said the text of the letter. Manning is set to serve sentence in Fort Leavenworth, home to America's military most famous prison. Robert Mugabe, Africa's oldest and one of its longest-serving leaders, has been sworn in for a new 5-year term as Zimbabwean president. The ceremony was performed at a stadium packed with thousands of jubilant supporters. The 89-year-old pledged to observe, uphold, and defend the Constitution of Zimbabwe in an oath administered by Chief Justice Godfrey Chid-Yuskisiku. Political opponents and leaders of other countries mostly stayed away from the event amid claims that July's election was deeply flawed. Last week, the main opposition party in Zimbabwe, the Movement for Democratic Change, dropped a court challenge against the election result because of doubts it would receive a fair hearing. Britain, the country's former colonial ruler, expressed its disappointment at the MDC's decision. I strongly believe that an independent investigation of any allegations of election irregularities would be required for the election result to be deemed credible, Foreign Secretary William Hughes said in a statement. But Mr. Mugabe, who has ruled since independence from Britain in 1980, remains defiant. He has told critics of his re-election to go hang and has vowed to press ahead with nationalist policies, forcing foreign companies to turn over majority stakes to black Zimbabweans. The cabbie who struck a British tourist in New York, severing her left foot in an apparent road rage incident, could face criminal charges. NYPD Commissioner Ray Kelly said the investigation is going forward. Collisions accident investigations take some time. The crash occurred on the corner of 49th Street and Avenues of the Americas on Tuesday morning when the cab struck a cyclist, jumped the pavement, and hit Sion Green. The 23-year-old who had recently arrived in the city was eating a hot dog with a friend. A plumber at the scene used his belt to make a life-saving tourniquet on her leg, and a street vendor placed ice on her wounds. As police gather evidence, it has been reported the driver hit the accelerator instead of the brake as he turned from the Avenue of the Americas into 49th Street, the New York Times reported. It was not clear how the confrontation began, but reports said that Mr. Olivo banged on the cab, which accelerated abruptly when making a turn. According to news reports, Mr. Heyman was summoned after the accident because he was not authorized to drive that particular cab, although no charges against him were filed at the scene. He could have had his cab license revoked or face criminal charges. Ms. Green has been treated at Bellevue Hospital Center, where her left leg was amputated below the knee. Doctors was able to save her right leg, which was also badly hurt. Her family and boyfriend have traveled to the United States to be with her. Her father said the family was devastated by what had happened. Ms. Green had flown to New York with her friend Keisha Warren, who was with her at the time of the crash. According to the newspaper, she has been training to be a buyer for Hugo Boss. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
Hey, excuse me, if you see me smiling, that's 'cause I'm chilling on Total Caribbean Network. It's your boy Wyclef John, man, and I'm chillin', man. Total Caribbean Network. Man, I love their style. Whoa, 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 whoa.